How important is pronunciation in language learning? Pronunciation can be quite tricky when learning a new language, especially for adults. You have to replicate a lot of strengths so that the language you are learning might have the same alphabet, but some letters will have an entirely different pronunciation. It can be confusing in beginning because look like words not the way they should. But how important is pronunciation in language learning, and what can you do to improve? Learning pronunciation first. That is a step that often overlooked by many people and learning method. We believe that acquiring some knowledge of proper pronunciation is essential before you dive in the depth of the language. You need to know how each letter and combination of the letter are pronounced. If they are accent letters, you should learn them as well. The goal is not to master pronunciation right from the start, but to at least understand how the language works. If you are learning German, for example, the letter V generally so it's not difficult to say F instead of V, but you do need to know. Otherwise, you could pronounce it incorrectly for years. Correcting the pronunciation from the start ensures you don't take in bad habit. It can be extremely difficult to correct the pronunciation after years of reinforcement. Focus on being understood. When learning a new language, it's important that you focus on being understood. Try to clearly enunciate rather than trying to speak exactly like native speakers who tend to mumble quite a bit of time. You do your best to clearly enunciate every syllable in the new language you may listen by other no time. That's the main goal for most people. After all, having accent is not really a problem in most situations. It's just your own way of speaking. You might not speak exactly the same way as everyone around you, but that doesn't matter at all. There are popular sayings that sound like this. Never make fun of someone with an accent. It means they know another language. I just changed the code a bit. Sounding like a native speaker. Many learners would love to sound like a native speaker in their new language. But what does that mean exactly? English speakers from the UK and from the US have different accents, but they are simply different way of speaking. Heck, we tend to generalize UK and US accent, but it said that there are over 50 differences in British alone. But since you want to sound like exactly the native speaker of certain area, you can spend a lot of time immersing yourself in speaking accent. If you listen to a lot of material and constantly practice out loud, you can get there. Be aware though, this will take a lot of work. In viewer, you can support and compare it to the recording of non-speaker. You can listen to the least subtlety in the pronunciation and make a German needed to sound more native. Don't let it keep you from speaking. One of the most important things is never to get pronunciation that keeps you from speaking. It's important to practice speaking as much as possible. Spoken practice will help you improve your pronunciation is more clearly communicate. Even if your accent is so thick that you are not understood at first, the other person will simply ask you to repeat. Once I understand, they will tell you the pronunciation get better. Nothing should ever keep you from speaking. The importance of breathing. There's a big difference between not saying words correctly because some sound like difficulty to breathe and not saying things correctly because you think that's how they are said. Reading can fit a lot of these below. Once you know how each letter is pronounced, knowing how the words are spelled should help you pronunciation. Reading helps you once you know how to read, you can even practice your pronunciation by reading book out loud, which is likely one of the best ways to practice your pronunciation. Listen and repeat. Whenever you listen to audio material, try to repeat after the recording. You can do this with movies, YouTube video, song, or any audio can get your hands on. With pause and repeat what out loud. This exercise can also be done with Zenocore program. Repeat out loud is another way you can really increase your skill. All that being said, remember what's truly important. Be understood. If you can do that, remember that having an accent is no big deal. You can even give you a subtle charm. If you like video culture, it really means a lot stuff. For more language learning, check out our website at ouino.com. That's ouino.com. Thanks.